This is Lou from Lou's Antiques, and right now we're going to the Goodwill in Monroe, Michigan, and this Goodwill I go to a lot. They have a lot of really nice things, and they are constantly putting stuff out all day. So it's right before Christmas, so I'm kind of in the Christmas area, checking out things, although it's a little bit later. We only got about a week till Christmas, so I hate to buy too much. Down there was some religious plaques, and religious items sell really well. I have mixed feelings about selling that sort of thing, but that one had some damage on it, so I passed on that. So here's a little sprig I was looking for to maybe decorate a sled or something with. And if you like what you're seeing, hit the like button, please subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So even though it was close to Christmas, I still was kind of looking around because you never know, there could be something really cool for next year. Then they have a section of statues and knickknacks, and I always dig through there because I have found some really nice old stuff in there. So this has been a really good place for me to go. I go here on a regular basis. It's about 5 miles from my house, so I always check it out when I go to town. So they have lots of aisles of things of this nature, cards and paints and craft supplies, and they have a whole section. They just kind of redid the store, so they have a whole section of holiday type items. That was a little cute little doll with a porcelain face. I don't typically buy dolls, but that one was really a nice one. And it's hard to look at fall items when Christmas time is here, but you should always check this area because if there's some really good collectibles, you can keep them until next year and put them in a box. So we went down the next aisle here, and this is like phone covers, and sometimes there's some wallets in there and those types of things. You never know. This is kind of mix mash down this aisle what you're going to find, so you got to always check it out. I even saw some Amazon boxes. So I was looking at this dish. It had a covered lid, and on the cover there's a flower, and these are very beautiful, but they're very hard to find in perfect condition, and unfortunately that had a little chip on it. So I always look, but you really have to check that out because a chip can really devalue it a lot. Very pretty piece though. And there's some plastic stuff down that aisle. I don't typically go down there unless I'm looking for Turvis tumblers. Here's some angel section. And some more holiday items. Oh, that little Santa, is he not cute or what? He's not old, but I just like him. So cute. I had to fix his little arm though, so he'd be more saleable. It was kind of bending down. It wasn't supposed to be that way, but what a cute thing. And lots of red and green items on that shelf there. That's kind of like the end caps. And here's the section of vases. You never know what they're going to have in here. Most of the time they're just floral vases, but sometimes there's a piece of depression glass or something really old there. So I always got to check that out. And here's all kinds of plates and things like that. Oh, there's a collectible plate down there, but I don't always buy those. Now and again I do if they're really inexpensive, but they're not great sellers. So that was Sound of Music one. Was neat. So I look in the clear because there's a lot of clear patterns that are depression glass. So I always look in this area. And here's a nice little piece of depression glass right there. I can't remember the pattern of that one, so message me if you remember that pattern. I'd have to go look it up. And here's another one, a piece of depression glass. This is bubble, and typically you see bubble in blue, but they also have it in clear. So, but they were nice pieces, but one plate or one dish is not as easy to sell as if you have several pieces. So I usually pass on those one-piece deals unless I'm collecting to try to get an entire set. Here's a sugar and creamer, but way too modern for me. Pretty, so I passed on that. This was a fooler. I thought this was milk glass, and it was a cheese shaker, and I thought, ooh, I found something good, but I picked it up and it was plastic. It's like, oh well, fooled me on that one. It was cute, but not what I'm looking for. And they have lots of glass sets, and I have found some glass sets here from the 50s and 60s and bar sets. So I always check there. So we're heading over to the picture section, and this is a buyer's regret thing. These needle points were beautiful. They were $6 each. I don't know where my head was, but I did not buy them, and I sure should have, because they were really nice. And both in perfect condition. No stains, no tears, really nice. And that's one of those buyer regret things that you wish you would have bought. But I didn't. I went back the next day to see if they were there, and of course they were gone because they were really nice. So you don't want to leave things that you're deciding on. You definitely want to put them in your cart until you can make a good decision. So buyer's regret. Definitely in that. But behind that, look what I found. This is probably from the 70s. Look at this owl. It has all kinds of beadwork on it. Beautiful. $8, perfect shape. You can look on the back of these pictures and you can kind of tell if they're older by the cardboard and the things on the back. And that was going home with me. Now these boxes I had checked out later. I didn't have it on film, and they were they get Target furniture there that's new, and they were Adirondack chairs, $20 a piece. Beautiful, but you have to look at them because one of them was missing some of the hardware, and that's why it was such a good bargain. But man, they listed for about, I think, $220 or $240 each. They retailed for. That would have been a heck of a buy had there been hardware for both chairs. That would have been for my daughter. She needed some of those for her house. And there's a little candelabra there. But yeah, they have all kinds of new stuff. But like I said, you gotta check it out unless the box is sealed, because a lot of times it was returned to Target, so then they donate it to the Goodwill. These boxes were nice. I could use some more Rubbermaid containers, but it's winter in Michigan, and I like to wash these out really good with the hose, and it makes it a little bit more difficult when it's winter outside because you can't have hoses. So I passed on those for today. They were nice though. So when I go to the Goodwill, I always look in the linens, and I usually head to the dresses to see if there's any vintage dresses. And I am walking through here, and right there, I came back to that one, and there was another one right next to it that was a vintage dress. They were $8 each. They were homemade ones, but the fabric was great on both of those, and they were both beautiful and in larger sizes, which you never find in vintage clothes. This was an Adrian Papel dress. Love this too. I got a little caught up in the video on this, but then I went back and I thought, wait a second, I saw some vintage material. I got to go back and check that out. So those two I bought also, along with the owl print. It was a good day in Monroe. This is not unusual. I usually come out of there with something every time I go. Definitely a good place to stop. Shouldn't be giving all my secrets away. But it is a really good one. So I looked at the rest of it and didn't find anything else, but those two I went back to. So we stopped at another Goodwill in the area, and when they bring out new items, they often bring them on these carts. And if you see one of these carts come out, you better run to it, because this is all the new stuff that nobody has seen yet. So you can tell the people that have been around for a while, because we all make a beeline to the carts when they pull those out. So I was looking at these candle things, and they were nice, but somebody had them outside, and they were a little bit rusty. And I would have had to spray painted them to make them nicer, and it's winter in Michigan. That's not real easy for me to do right now. So I passed on those. And they had some purses I kind of looked through also that were nice, but nothing I picked up on. Here was some dolls. This was a good deal. $15 for 3 dolls. Porcelain dolls. I don't know if they were signed or anything. It wasn't a bad price. They looked a little modern to me, so I passed on those. And oh boy, this tile vase was beautiful. I know it was new, but I really liked it. It was $10. That was a good buy. I would have liked that for my house, but I didn't really have a place for it. Not something I could make a lot of money on, but a very nice piece. Then I happened upon this perfume, and this is new, I know, but I just love turquoise. I had to have it. So I went over, and when you buy these types of bottles with the stoppers in them, it's really important that you pull the stopper out and check to see if there's chips, because typically if there's a chip, it's on the inside. So I'm kind of finagling with the camera there. It was a little bit awkward trying to do that with one hand on the camera and one. So I set it down and I checked for chips, and my goodness, it was perfect. So that was mine. That may not go anywhere. I just like that one a lot. Like I said, I know it's modern, but it was just a really pretty piece. This was nice also. These were Fire King casserole dishes, and they had a slight tint of blue to them. Very nice. One was chipped, but they both were missing their lids, which is not terrible, but I like to have the complete set when I sell them. Nice pieces though. Another part of depression glass. Wanted to point those out to you. Very nice. Or depression era glass. So this is another things that are depression glass. I found these in the vases, and this is the ruby red and the forest green pattern, and they have similar shapes in both colors, and not a bad deal for $3. I passed it up. They're not real high sellers, so I passed on those. Cute little bowl, had a chip on the side. What a bummer. But I typically get about $6 for those colored vases like that, even though they're quite old. They're just not real valuable. Nice for Christmas. And here was some collectible figurines, and I do sell some of that stuff at both malls. I can't remember the name of these. I think they're like a photograph, something collectible. I'm not sure the name offhand, but I've had a few. They sell usually for me between $3 and $5, and these were priced about the same, so I passed on that. So if you remember the name of that, please put it on the comments. These are nice. I see these a lot. These are hand-painted objects that people buy, and I do pick up on those because I have a lady who buys a lot of those things. She collects them, and they usually have the artist's name on the bottom with a date. Not always real old, maybe from the 70s, but they're nice. Oh, look at this cute purse. Modern, but right up my alley. So cute. So I checked that out. I think it was about $4 or $5. I can't remember. And here's another cute one. That one was full of feathers. Not as cute as the other one. I like the turquoisey color one better. And this last one would have been really nice. I would have bought this one, but it was missing a stone. It had a rhinestone front in it. And I do have a box of stones, but you have to have that exact one to make it look good. So I ended up just buying the one. It had a few loose threads on it, but I figured out how I could do that. So this is Luz from Luz Antiques saying goodbye, and see us again. Happy hunting.